Good evening. Once again, we start a broadcast here. This is Prospector Jess from Hunting for Gold, and tonight's going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about this topic: finding gold and why. Basically, what we want to know here is, what motivates you, what motivates me. So this is a chance for you to give me some feedback and to make some comments on the page down below. I'd like you to give me a chance of finding out a little bit of what makes you tick and what you're interested in knowing more about, what we can offer you from Hunting for Gold, and what Prospector Jess can do for you. As well as it's one of those nights where this is kind of after a long weekend of rain. I'm looking at trying to figure out what's the next thing to cover. Of course, when we get these rains clearing through here, it takes a while for all of the water to subside, especially up in the Sierras where there's the snowpack building up. That snowpack will be there to midsummer probably. So one of these things that we have to look forward to is planning our outings. I'd like to know a little bit more about what you're planning to do this year and how you're planning to find more gold. After all, we're out there to find gold, and we want to know why. Why do you do what you do? Let me give you a little bit of a background. I started out finding gold when I was a kid. I found out that my great-grandfather was 1849er of all things, had a place out in Grizzly Flats, California, up near Placerville. Great place, a little bit hot in the summer when I went to visit it as a teenager. My mom took us out, and my mom and dad did, but my mom, I was the one who got me on fire with gold. She went out with a pan, a simple blued steel pan, and went out there and caught some gold, and that was pretty impressive, and still sticks to me for a long time as a memory from my childhood. It also told me a little bit about what's possible and why my great-grandfather would go out there in the first place, because it was really beautiful stuff, and boy, when you feel it in your hand, the heft of it is something else. So what motivates you? What makes you tick, and what makes you look for gold? Or have you started looking for gold yet? Have you thought about this adventure that we're on and, given it any thought? Or are you afraid of the people who want to tell you what to do? There's a fair number of those out there who would like to tell you exactly what and how you do things in life. I'd prefer that we not do that. It's really not what this nation's been about. This nation's been about entrepreneurial flair and doing things unusual and taking care of the place. That's called stewardship, but not necessarily expecting big government to take care of it, if that makes any sense to you. So I am kind of in that vein of things, always have been. Been on both sides of the field. Parents were teachers, so that can give you an idea of what that background was like. And frankly, I saw a lot of good in what they were doing. The problem is, I think now we're getting to where people want to take over land and they want to grab all those rights up and tie them up to prevent you from harming you. No, if you look closely, it's typically to prevent you from harming some special contract they're letting off to a foreign agent, or who cares? That's not the point. The point is it messes with what America has been about, which is this adventure that we call freedom. And so I have some things I just posted about folks who are heading to the Supreme Court to protect our rights to placer prospect. This time it's coming from a challenge in Oregon instead of a challenge in California. Same problem though. It's you can't run any motorized equipment in a stream area, period. I don't care whether or not there's been anything proven, because time and time again, Fish and Game here in California for decades proved without a shadow of a doubt that it was actually beneficial to the fish and not harmful. So the question becomes, especially when you saw the muddiness of the rivers this week, what is it that's being harmed here? What is going on, and why in the world would you care? Except if you want to control what I do. And that's really not what freedom is. So you might want to pay attention to that little tidbit. There's a flyer that I posted up there about it. It's something important to me and important to other prospectors. And if you get into this prospecting adventure, you're going to find that there are issues like that. By the way, if you get into fishing, or you get into outdoor activity, or you get into hiking soon, you're going to find that you're going to have roads that you can't go to because the roads are now closed. So you're going to have to hike there. But oh, by the way, you can't hike there because that's not allowed, because you might trounce on the wild weevil. And so forth. So it's important to stand up for your rights. It's important to let those people who govern us to know that they're governing us and that America is based on representation, not a democracy, not mass leadership, not a mass vote, but on people who represent the little pockets and the little guy who has a vested interest in the outcome of, and by the way, we all do have a vested interest in the outcome of these small little things. The reality is, without the small little things, the big stuff stops really fast, like food, for instance, and water. So that's just PJ's pointers for the weekend. I just thought I'd throw that out there and let you know. But anyway, let me know in the comments below, and let me know how you feel about prospecting, what you're going to do for getting out for the gold this year. Also, let me know anything that you have of interest. I've gotten a handful of inputs. Like I said last time, I got somebody to ask the question about what in the world is watershed and how does that all fit together with what I'm looking for. So I talked about that in the last few videos. You can look at them up. So this is Prospector Jess. I just thought I'd drop this short note tonight. It's going to be a kind of a sweet one. I pretty much am over and out for now, but if you let me know, I will do more. I'm going to keep doing these videos until the gold comes. Catch you then. Prospector Jess, over and out. Good prospecting.